The term subject-verb agreement refers to this idea that the subject and the verb of each clause should agree with each other, that they should match. If you look at the first example here, the camels were tired. Camels is a plural noun. It's also our subject. And were is plural as well. Okay, so it's the plural verb. If it was all singular, we would say the camel, there's our singular noun, the camel was tired. And was is in the singular form too. That's all that agreement means. We just want these two to match each other. But of course there are lots of tricky situations too, and we'll have a look at a few of these in this video. The first thing to watch out for is this little word and. So if you have and, then it tends to create a plural subject. So Hans and Jürgen, we have two nouns, and with and they become a plural subject, and the verb then is plural as well. It's not is running, okay, but it's are running, the ultramarathon. There is one exception though, and you can see that here. If we have friend and pastor, and these two nouns refer to the same person, so a singular person, then we just use a singular verb, as in officiates. If this were plural and these were different people, we would say officiate without the s. So that's one thing to watch out for, where you have two nouns that actually designate just one person. Another tricky instance is where you use this expression as well as. And as well as is an expression that could really go between brackets. You could say Jordan, and then all of this is in brackets, and then you get to the verb, and it's singular because it's matching Jordan. Okay, so watch out for that little expression as well as. There's one other one, it goes along with, and the same rules apply. Next, we'll look at this word nor as well as or. So nor and or. And what you should do with these words is if you are connecting a couple of nouns to create a subject, you look at the last noun to figure out if you need a plural or a singular verb. So here we have Carla, that's singular. Okay, so Carla is singular. And classmates is plural, and that's the last one in this construction. So have read is plural. It's not has read, which would be if it were Carla. Carla has read. Instead, it's have read. And you can see something quite similar in the next one. So here we flipped it around. We have the students. First we get our plural noun. Then we get nor. Then we get our singular noun after that, the teacher. And because the singular noun is last, we have remembers instead of remember. And this one is also singular then. You can probably hear though that this last construction, where we have the singular noun last, is a little bit awkward. Neither the students nor the teacher remembers. This is not quite as common, and I would suggest that where possible you actually rephrase and you put the plural noun last. It just sounds a little bit better typically. A couple of last sentences here, and these have to do with collective nouns. A collective noun is a noun that refers to multiple people or multiple things, but is singular in nature. Okay, so it's singular, but it just happens to refer to a bigger group of things. You can see that here, the committee. So the committee might consist of many people, but it's singular as a noun. It's one committee, and that's why we have is instead of are. It's not the committee are. It would be if you were to say the committee members are issuing a report, but in this case it's just singular. That's usually the case with collective nouns, is that they take a singular verb, but there is one exception, as usual. And the exception is if the term, the collective noun, really refers to individual members, then in that case you would use a plural form of the verb. And here we've done that because the implication is really that the clergy members are, or the individual clergy are voting, and they might vote quite separately from each other. So that's why in this case we have picked a plural verb. But most of the time with a collective noun, you use a singular verb. That's it to introduce subject-verb agreement, and we'll do some other videos as well to look at other difficult cases, but hopefully you get the basic concept.